Welcome back, guys. In this video we're going to take a look at services in AngularJS. I'm going to take you to documentation, and here we have a services section and we have a bunch of built-in services. So anything start with a $sign in AngularJS, that means it's a built-in service. Let me explain to you what is a service. So AngularJS supports the concept of separation of concern using services architecture. Services are JavaScript function and are responsible to do a specific task only. This makes them an individual entity which is maintainable and testable. Controllers and filters can call them as requirement. Services are normal injected using dependency injection mechanism of AngularJS. AngularJS provides many inbuilt services, for example, $HTTPS service, $road service, $window, $location, and much more. Each service is responsible for a specific task. For example, $HTTP service is used to make AJAX call to get the server data. $root is used to define the routing information, and so on. Inbuilt services are always prefixed with a $symbol. And there are two ways to create our own services: factory and a service. We'll take a look at factory and a service in our project. But now let's take a look at how we can use this inbuilt services in AngularJS. So first of all, we are going to use this $log service. Let's go to WebStorm and let's open our page. I'm going to refresh it to remove the stuff. Now let's take a look at how we can use inbuilt services in AngularJS. We're going to look at AngularJS built-in service called $log. Let's take you to a documentation. So simple service for logging. So it basically works as console.log, but we have a different features here. For example, info writes information message, warning writes a warning message, writes an error message, write a debug message. So you get these facilities with using this $log service. We go back to WebStorm and we just open up our page here. Now we have opened the console from developer tools, and now let's just create a scope object. We just say ABC and we just pass in the value of hello. I'm gonna save this. Now to use the $log service, we need to inject that into our controller. The reason why we don't have to use any dependencies in our module is because it's an inbuilt service for AngularJS. We can simply add this to our myController function. So let's type comma and we just say $log. And now we're going to use that. So here I'm going to show you without $log and with $log. So we can do console.log. If you're familiar with JavaScript, we have a function for console.log, and we can add scope.abc object to it, and I'm gonna refresh the page after saving it, and now we have hello here, right? This is a simple hello. Now if we want to write hello as an error, so we can use a $log service dot, and we use error, and then we use the scope.abc object again. Let's save the file and refresh it, and now we can see that we created a console.log, but by using a log built-in service for AngularJS, we can make that look like as an error. As you can see here, we have a different features as well. For example, we use $log dot, we can say info, and we use this scope.abc, and let's refresh the page, and we should have an info. Info is similar to a console.log. It doesn't have any special thing. Now let's take a look at another service, which is a built-in service, which is a location. So I'll just add that into our controller. So location, and then we are going to come down here, and I'm just gonna say $log, and we just say it's an info, right? And inside that we use location service dot abs URL. All right, let's save it and refresh the page, and there we go. So now this service basically grab the location. So if you know JavaScript, we have a window.location there, so to grab and work with the location of your web browser. So it does the same thing, location.abs. Let me take you to the documentation here. So we'll go and have a look at the location service. Basically, location service passes the URL in the browser address bar and makes the URL available to your application. We have a methods on it as well, abs URL, which returns the full URL representation with all the segment encoded according to the rules specified in RFC 3986. We have a URL method, we have a protocol method, so you can read about this, what returns what. We have other services as well, for example, Windows service. Windows service is basically the same as a window object in JavaScript. So let me read this passage here. So it's a reference to a browser window object. Well, window is globally available in JavaScript and it causes testability problems because it is a global variable. In AngularJS, we always refer to it through a window service. So it's a built-in service, that's why we have a $window service. Now you're gonna go and look at these services. It's really good to improve your knowledge about AngularJS services. It's got a lot of services. So I'm gonna be showing you one more services in the next video, which is a $HTTP, which is really important and you need to understand what it does. Let me give you a quick peek about this service. So $HTTP service is a core AngularJS service that facilitates communication with the remote HTTP servers via browser X HTTP request object via JSON-P. So we're going to take a look at this service in the next video and retrieve a JSON data with it.